Hey, what's up guys? My name's Cody Bobe. I hope you're having an awesome day. Man, if you're new to the bun and the beard, I'm the bun, and Russell Gray is the beard. And we're both here, we're sharing these tips with you from Soulcon Ministries. Thankfully, we are able to, work in a ministry that wages war for men's souls around the world through every means possible to call us into excellence, body, soul, spirit. That's what the heart of this ministry is. If you haven't downloaded our app, make sure you download the Soulcon app. If you're watching this through the Soulcon app, take this video and text 2 or 3 guys, challenge them to get a six-pack, and invite them into a brotherhood founded on Christ, willing to push our lives to the limit and 10 times further in His name to make the good news of Jesus Christ known to this world. So that's what Soulcon is. I'm Cody Bobe. Again, if you don't know me, I've been a fitness expert for over 11 years. And I've lived and breathed this from my time in the military to corporate wellness to now working full-time as an author, a speaker, constantly working in the philosophy of how do I help men around the world and families live in maximal human performance that is living a disciple life of Jesus Christ. And one of the questions that I want to address today, and one of the areas I want to cover, I hear this a lot with men to say, man, I love Jesus like crazy, as they get immersed into Soulcon, which is a challenge as a man constantly, every day, to live excellent. I hear guys say, man, I want a six-pack. Is that cool? I want a six-pack. Is that making an idol of my body? Let me tell you, making an idol of your body is something only that you can do. It starts in your heart. Don't ever worship your reflection, ever. Don't ever worship your reflection. Let me tell you what you can do. You can enjoy the benefit of exercise, nutrition, and having a body that responds to that. That's how God created you. Your body makes a wonderful servant, but a horrible God. So never worship it as God. Use it as what I view my body as is the ultimate soldier, right? I live in my body, born again in Christ, and my body is a tool to worship God in everything that I do. So if I want a six-pack, that's awesome, right? That's so incredible. I'll never worship it, but man, I like to feel confident, right? I like to be able to tuck my shirt in and be able to know I don't have just rolls hanging out of my shirt. To get there, we have to go through a couple things, and I want to encourage you, man, if you're there and you're wondering, can I ever have a six-pack? Yes, you can. Everybody has a rectus abdominis, right? You have the muscles, you have to get rid of the fat. And you're the only one that can get rid of the fat. And I'm so sorry if the word fat offends you, right? I always say, it's the worst F word you can say in a church or in a church gathering. Fat is a science word. You have visceral fat, subcutaneous fat, we call it body fat, whatever it is. And you need a certain amount of body fat. And Russell Gray, man, the beard and the bun and the beard, covered that. Go back and watch that video on body fat. One of the best explanations I've ever seen. Today, what I want to do is I want to encourage you, right? I'm going to share 4 tips for a six-pack. How do you get a six-pack in your life where you're at? 4 quick tips. I'm going to make sure this video stays under 10 minutes, so we're going to get to it. First tip that you have to remember is when you want to get a six-pack, you have got to, 1, exercise. You cannot exercise. You cannot get a six-pack. Well, maybe you're born with it, whatever. But if your goal is to get a six-pack without exercising, let me bring this analogy to you. It's like wanting to save money, but you don't have income. So sure, you can save money. Maybe you inherited a lot, or maybe you won the lotto, but there's a small chance you're going to save money if you don't have an income, money coming in. This is how exercise plays the role in a six-pack. You've got to exercise, right? If you want a lean, trim waist that has six-pack abs, right, you've got to put in the work. What's the best way to do it? My encouragement to you is take on the Soulcon Challenge. We start July 9th. do it with other men, right? Like exercise with other men. You're going to go through a hell week. You're going to go through ripping carbs out of your diet at certain times, sometimes for a whole week. It's really good to fluctuate, to push your body through these challenges physically, to consistently exercise. If you can run, you need to run. Running is one of the best ways to get rid of body fat. Your body doesn't like to jiggle. When you run, you jiggle, and your body wants to get rid of the jiggle. So that's a really, man, if you can run, that's why in Soulcon we encourage 2 5Ks a week. But 4 tips for a six-pack: exercise. You've got to exercise. My goal for every person on this planet, if you can get to where you exercise 6 days a week for 60 minutes, man, you are living in probably maximum human performance for your life, and then we can get there. And you're constantly exercising with a lower, your heart rate stays in about the zone 2 range, which we can cover that in another video. But you're pushing yourself, you're sweating, you're really getting out of your comfort zone. That's key. Now, tip number 2, no snacking. I have to cover this really clear. Snacking, meaning in between your scheduled times to eat. Now we know this, right? Oh man, I got the munchies in between, which I encourage everybody to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. If it's been 1 hour and you're hungry and there's chips on the table and you start to eat the chips, snacking is one of the fastest ways like that to take your six-pack and put it to death. So if you're just a snacker in between, what's it going to do to your brain? It's going to train your brain to do something you don't want it to do, to store body fat. You don't want your brain to work against you. You don't want to eat some chips in between your scheduled times to eat healthy meals. On the Soulcon app, we have meal plans for weight loss. They're free. Check it out. You don't want to get a high in your brain when you eat some chips, or maybe have a couple M&Ms or whatever it is, and then you lose control of your brain because all it wants is that sugary high, the hit of another sugary high. You don't want that. You want your brain to work for you and not against you. So we have to process through this to say, you treat your body like you train a dog. So when it's time to eat, you eat. When it's not time to eat, you don't eat. You do what you're supposed to do. And like Paul said in 1 Corinthians 9:27, I buffet my body like a boxer. You have to buffet your body like a boxer to say, how do boxers eat? They only eat when they're supposed to eat. They train like freaks. That's why their body looks like their body looks. So if you want a six-pack, you can't let your body do whatever it lusts for in the moment. You've got to live a disciplined life. Guys, this message is to disciples of Jesus. Disciple is being disciplined to someone higher, a higher power. You're a disciple of the highest power on the planet, Jesus Christ. So you cannot snack. 3, you have to drink water. This is really important. So many people tell me, or so many people ask me, hey, can I drink too much water in a day? Yes, you can, but you don't have, I've never met somebody that has to worry about this, okay? So you should be drinking 1 to 2 gallons of water a day. The best fat-burning agent on the planet is water. Most people, they're like, oh, I'm so hungry, man. I just need to get some food. The average person doesn't feel hunger pangs, real hunger pangs, until day 6 of a fast, water fast. So you're not hungry. Your hormones are lying to you. You're just thirsty. So drink some water, slam some water. You should be drinking 1 gallon to 2 gallons a day. Just train your body, drink 8 ounces every hour, maybe 10 ounces every hour, so you're not just sprinting to go pee all the time. But just take it in, right? It's discipline. Every hour doing what you're supposed to do. Every second walking in the strength and the power of the Holy Spirit. So the last thing that I want you to understand, and this is that has to get in your soul. We have on our workout videos on our app, we have core training. You've got to train your abs. These are super important. There's so many ways and important things to get a six-pack. This is one of the most important. You've got to sleep. Now I know, right? Like, hey, sleep, awesome. I love sleeping. That's a great way to get a six-pack. Let me tell you, if you're exercising, when you get to 6 days a week, 60 minutes, you're not snacking, you're drinking enough water, but say you're staying up until 2 watching a Netflix series and waking up at 6 and your cortisol hormone, which is your stress hormone, is always high, man, you're not going to be able to lose the belly fat, right? Because belly fat's the hardest fat to lose, and it usually stays if your body is stressed out. So what is sleep? Sleep, you need 6 to 8 hours. That's an H. 6 to 8 hours of sleep. You don't need more. You're an adult, right? Like, I'm speaking to adults, just to clarify. You don't need more sleep than 8 hours. If you are longing for sleep, saying, oh, I can't wait for the weekend to sleep in, you're too stressed. You've got to get a healthy sleep pattern. A healthy sleep pattern starts when you wake up in the morning to when you go to sleep at that night. When you have enough water in your system, your body can rest properly. When you are exercising well, you're maximizing the production of hormones in your body and then stabilizing them at night. When you're not snacking, you're not giving yourself these waves of hormones, right? Like, you're not giving yourself a high and then a crash and then a high and then a crash. You're training your body like an ultimate soldier to where when it's time to get the job done, to sleep so you can be prepared for tomorrow, your body can lay down, hit the pillow, and actually go through your sleep cycles. So you've got to understand these things. This all goes along with a healthy diet, consistency. Look at the meal plan on Soulcon. You've got to be consistent. There's no off day, right? Like, Jesus didn't say, man, whoever wants to follow me, he has to deny his selfish ways, pick up his cross 3 days a week, and follow me in those 3 days. He said, every day, you pick up your cross daily and follow me. There's no day off of being a disciple of Jesus, and there's no day off in that process of treating your body that it is hands down Satan's most effective tool to destroy your soul. He cannot destroy your soul without using your body. So don't let your body for one day of your life be a gluttonous, lustful God. Don't allow your body to do whatever it wants. Keep it disciplined, keep focused, and I promise you, you do these things consistently and you get into the community of Soulcon, you walk in this, you will achieve your goal of a six-pack. These are my 4 tips. Do me a favor, like this video, leave the comments below. If you have any questions, we'd love to answer them. Again, subscribe to this channel. I want you to see and to walk in what it is to live in maximum human performance. I went a little over 10 minutes. I hope this helped your life. If it did, like it, share it. Love you guys. Have an awesome day.